I'm Heather.
I'm Nate.
This is Lacey.
We're going to San Francisco.
And you can't have rainbows without a lot of rain, and that's what we had. It was dark by the time we arrived, and it was fun to see all the city lights twinkling at us.
We drove along the pier and followed the rail car as we made our way into downtown.
We trolleyed along to our hotel so we could get some sleep, only to wake up to a rainy, foggy morning.
We could barely see the ships in the bay.
It may have been a gloomy morning, but the smell of fresh sourdough baking woke us up, and we knew it was time to start exploring. We got all our rain gear on, and we took the seal's advice and headed to the Fisherman's Wharf.
We just followed our noses towards the seafood.
After checking out the map, we started wandering, only to discover we were about the only ones here. All the rain had driven everyone away. This was the famous Pier 39. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be crowded here.
If San Francisco shuts down in the rain, when are they ever open?
With no one around, we found ourselves at the end pretty quickly, just looking at the views.
At least we could see Alcatraz, but the weather didn't seem much better over there.
And way in the distance, through the rain and the fog, we could barely make out the Golden Gate Bridge.
The weather was starting to clear a little bit, so we were excited to go check things out.
And even on a rainy day, people are still visiting Alcatraz. As we gazed at the Golden Gate Bridge, we found ourselves wandering over to where the seals were.
We thought the live seals might have better food recommendations.
There were some seals out enjoying the rain, and so were the birds.
It seemed like they had all already had breakfast, so we hoped they left some food for us.
We read about the seals, why they were here, who they were, and did we know?
We didn't know why they were here, so we figured we'd just ask them, and we seemed to get some kind of response. Well, I didn't get all of it, but I definitely think they said that they were here for the seafood.
I think he wishes the weather was a little sunnier. We made our way through an empty Pier 39, and we decided that chocolate would make our day a little brighter. Oh my gosh, this was the most amazing chocolate shop I've ever been into. They had chocolate purses and chocolate shoes.
Lacey couldn't wait to chew up those shoes.
They had a chocolate counter that went on for miles with everything you could think of and more.
They had chocolate dipped all the best snacks, lined the place in fudge, and caramel coated more apples than we could eat. Not to mention the chocolate coated cherries and orange peels we walked out with.
We spent a good portion of the afternoon here, and I'm not sure if it was because of the rain outside or because there was so much to see and hear.
I think it was the suckers with the scorpions and other bugs in them.
Lacey finally got us out of the store and told us we needed to keep exploring.
We followed Lacey's nose and started heading back until we found ourselves right in the middle of Fisherman's Wharf.
It smelled so good here, so we had to stop for some fresh chowder, but then we continued our tour. No, not that kind of tour. We followed our noses and we found the Bowden sourdough bread factory that we had been smelling all morning. We got to watch them make the teddy bear sourdough bread. It was so much fun.
They stuck them all together, one piece of dough at a time, and baked them up to bring them to life.
When they were done, we had to go inside to see the finished product. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. Hard to imagine that you were going to eat them.
At least we'll stuff them full of chowder first.
We couldn't believe how empty the streets were. A little rain makes everyone stay home around here. We were pretty soaked too, so we headed back to our hotel before dinner. We wanted to go to the Hard Rock Cafe, of course. We're tourists. And then we forced some of our friends who were locals to join us.
They could be tourists for an evening.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun in here. They had guitars lining the ceilings. They had memorabilia everywhere. Oh yeah, and a stage you could rock out on.
You know we weren't passing that up.
So of course, while we were waiting for our food, we had to bust out a few songs.
Just imagine every hit from the 90s sung better than you've ever heard it before.
And just like everywhere else we had been today, this restaurant wasn't very busy, and we had a lot of fun checking it all out.
You get great service when you're the only customer.
The rain may have been keeping everyone away, but it gave us the restaurant to ourselves, and it gave me the chance to explore everything on the walls.
There was clothing, instruments, and memorabilia from the greatest bands on their greatest tours. You could feel the power of the concert crowd stored inside of all of it.
It was so cool to look at all this stuff.
And imagine wearing the outfits and playing the instruments as we rocked out on stage in front of thousands of people. It didn't take us long to come back to reality in an empty bar on a rainy night, but that didn't keep us from enjoying the dream while we had it.
We had some drinks, filled ourselves up with some good food, and then we took one last look around before moseying out into the rain again. Oh yeah, you know I had to stop by the gift shop and pick up some t-shirts. I am a tourist. It was a pretty fun way to end a rainy day in San Francisco.
Thanks for going to San Francisco on a rainy day with us.
Oh, and on the way home, we had some great views, so I thought I'd put those here.